The attractive part of the plant is the flower. We are attracted by the color of it, and if the plant is bearing single flower, if the flower is single just like hibiscus, that kind of flower is known as solitary. Solitary means single flowers. Sometimes there will be groups of flowers, that is cluster of flowers. That kind of flower is known as inflorescence. Inflorescence is a term used to indicate a cluster of flowers. Group of flowers will be stuck together, just like jasmine. And flower is actually a modified shoot. So some axillary bud. So we have seen this is the leaf, and here the bud. Some axillary bud will undergo some changes and it will be transformed into floral parts and turn into a flower. Hence flower is a modified shoot. So inflorescence, we can group it into two kinds. One is racemose and another is cymose. So it is very easy to understand. Actually, if you see a racemose type, I said inflorescence is a cluster of flowers. Based on how the young and old flowers are arranged, we can group the inflorescence into two kinds. One is racemose, another is cymose. So in the case of racemose, the young flowers will be in the top, and as we go down, the old or mature flowers will be there. So the young flowers will be on the top and the old ones will be in the bottom. Whereas in the case of cymose, it is the opposite. The old flower will be on the top and the young bud will be at the bottom. So if the inflorescence is possessing the young bud on the top and old flower at the bottom, that kind is known as racemose. And if the inflorescence is bearing old flower or a fully bloomed flower on top and an young bud in the bottom, that kind of inflorescence is known as cymose inflorescence. This kind of arrangement from young to old, it is acropetal, and this kind of arrangement from old to young, that is basipetal. So this is the term for this arrangement and this is the term for this arrangement. And flower is the reproductive unit. Since it bears the male and female sex organs, flower is considered as the reproductive unit. You know that flower, the petals will shed and the seeds will be formed at one stage. As a result of fertilization only, the seed formation take place. So the seed, when we put it in the soil, it will grow into a new plant, right? So it is giving rise to the next progeny. Hence flower is considered as the reproductive unit. So the flower has 4 whorls. So whorls are layers. So a flower has 4 layers. All the 4 layers you know. That is the green part. So if you take a flower, the green leaf-like structure is known as the sepal, and the beautiful colored one is known as petal, and in the center, that female organ is known as, so it will have 3 things you have already read in your 6th style, stigma, style and ovary. So this is the female part, and here you have the stamen, which is the male part. So sepals, petals, stamen and pistil. So it has other science name, that is calyx for sepal, corolla to indicate petal, androecium stamen, and it is the male part, and gynoecium is pistil, which is the female part. So a flower consists of 4 layers. They are calyx, corolla, androecium, gynoecium. Calyx are the green regions, a green leafy structure. Actually, when the flower is in bud stage, this sepals will protect the bud. That is the main function of this calyx. And corolla, it is colorful and it helps in attraction of insects for pollination. And androecium, it bears the male gamete or pollen, and gynoecium, it bears the female gamete egg inside the ovule. So these two fusion will occur, resulting in the formation of seed. So all the 4 layers of the flowers will be, so the, as we have seen for a leaf, the structure which is a stalk is known as petiole, right? Here for flower it is pedicel. So the structure or which acts as the stalk of the flower is known as pedicel. The stalk of the leaf is petiole. We have already seen in another video. Here the stalk of the flower is pedicel. So over the pedicel you can see, I said 4 layers are there for a flower, right? So all the 4 layers will be arranged somewhere around this bulged organ, and this is known as the thalamus. So the bulged part over the pedicel that bears the floral layers or floral whorls is known as thalamus. So I have drawn here sepals, petals, androecium and gynoecium, right? So here calyx and corolla are also known as accessory organ because calyx aids in protection of bud and corolla it just acts insects for pollination, and hence they are known as accessory organ. They are not playing any direct role in reproduction. And if there are some cases where the corolla will be green and you cannot distinguish this corolla from calyx, so both will look similar. That time these two are together known as perianth. So when you cannot differentiate corolla and calyx and when they are looking similar, that condition it is together known as perianth. So in the case of lily you can see this appearance, and androecium and gynoecium they directly take part in reproduction, hence they are known as reproductive organs. So these are accessory organs, these are reproductive organs. Based on how they are present, you can divide the flower into bisexual and unisexual. If both male and female, if both androecium and gynoecium is present in the same flower, just like hibiscus, it is known as bisexual. Both are present in single flower. If the male flower is present in male part is present in one flower and the female part is present in another flower, that kind of flowers are known as unisexual. So it will bear only one sex organ, either male or female. And symmetry, we have already studied in animal, right? Same. When you take a flower and cut it in any angle, and in all the angles if it is giving two equal half, then that kind of symmetry is known as actinomorphic, that is radial symmetry. So actinomorphic example is datura. If you cut this flower in any plane, it will give you two equal halves. So next one, bilateral. Bilateral we have seen, if you cut in one direction it will give you two equal halves, any other direction you will never get a equal half. So it is bilateral, in only one plane two equal halves will be obtained. So that kind is known as zygomorphic. Example cassia. So this is actinomorphic for radial, zygomorphic for bilateral. And anywhere if you cut any plane you can cut, but if you are not obtaining any, if you are not getting two equal halves, that kind of symmetry is known as asymmetric, that is irregular. Example kanna. So if you are getting equal half by cutting in any direction, that is actinomorphic. If you are getting equal half by cutting in only one direction, that is zygomorphic. If you are not getting any equal half at all, that is asymmetric. There are 4 layers of flowers or whorls of flowers, and if you see, they will be arranged in some pattern, that is trimerous, tetramerous or pentamerous. So if the petals are, example sepals are 3, petals will also be 3, and stamens and pistil may be 3 or multiples of 3, for example 6. So all these are either 3 or multiples of 3. So that kind of arrangement is known as, if the number of sepal is 3, number of petal is 3, number of stamen is a multiple of 3, and number of pistil is a multiple of 3, that kind of arrangement is known as trimerous. So tri means 3. Whereas this tetramerous, it is 4, either 4 or multiples of 4. If there are 4 sepals, 4 petals, 4, 8, so 12. So in that arrangement, if you have stamen and pistil, that is tetramerous. So this penta means 5. If the number of sepals, petals, stamen, pistil is 5 or multiples of 5, it is known as pentamerous. So in a flower, you can see at the bottom, at the bottom of the stalk you can see a leaf-like structure that is bract. So if you take a paper rose, you can see a pink structure, right? It will be in the form of a paper. That is actually a bract. So if the flower is having this bract, it is known as bracteate, and if the bract is absent, it is ebracteate. I said the floral layers will be arranged on this bulged structure, that is thalamus, right? So based on how it is arranged, you have three types here. One is hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. Here we will speak about the ovary here we will speak about this, how the other walls are arranged around this ovary. So if the ovary is on top and other layers like stamens, calyx, corolla are at bottom, this kind of arrangement is known as hypogynous. So if the ovary is superior, if the ovary is on top, that is superior or hypogynous. Perigynous means so in the middle, so half inferior. So half of the ovary will be inside and the half of the ovary will be on the top, and the other floral whorls will be arranged. So this kind is known as perigynous. And epigynous, the ovary will be completely inferior. The ovary will be completely at the bottom and all the other floral parts will be on the top. So if the ovary is on the top and the other floral parts are bottom, it is known as hypogynous. If the ovary, half of the ovary is at bottom and half of the ovary is on top, other floral whorls are arranged in the middle, now that is perigynous. And if the ovary is entirely at the bottom and all the other floral layers are on the top, it is known as epigynous. So based on the position, you can divide the arrangement of ovary and thalamus into three: hypogynous, perigynous, epigynous. So this is actually used to indicate a ovary, type of ovary, whether it is hypogynous or perigynous or epigynous.